So today we brought in about 75 sheep and a llama named Moana. And their job is going to be to work out here and graze the cover crops and leave behind some extra nitrogen for the grapes as they grow. So the sheep that we brought in today are yearlings, and they're all females. Hopefully most of them are pregnant. They're between a year and 18 months of age. These are Dorpers, which we chose specifically for living here in the Napa Valley because they're very hardy in hot temperatures and they don't require any shearing, so they're primarily used for grazing. It's very regenerative, so not only are you controlling the grasses and the cover crops, but you're giving back. And so the nitrogen that they leave behind is helpful for future crops, for the grapes themselves. Obviously, they don't require diesel or fuels to run, so it's a much more natural and sustainable approach that we're trying to encourage. They have benefits in the way that their hooves work, that they break the crust of the soil up, which allows the water, instead of sheeting off, it'll absorb better when we have rain. So Moana, the llama, is their leader, and they follow her. And when it's time to move to different pastures, I can call her and she'll come, and it's a very low stress type of handling. So she helps to protect them from any sort of threats like coyotes or things that may want to come in. Just her presence alone sort of wards them off. They're afraid of her. Even the working dogs don't want to mess with Moana the llama. We have water troughs for them. There isn't enough water in the grasses to give them all that they need, so we have a trough. The electric netting is put up, and they actually are trained to it when they're really young. I put them into it with their mothers, and their mothers teach them early. Rarely will you ever see one of these guys test these fences. It's more for things on the outside, like a wandering coyote that might come by. It's very effective at protecting them. At this point, it isn't necessarily there to, really contain them because they know about it. So it's more to protect them. Usually around 4 a.m. they'll get up and start grazing, and then they'll take a little siesta in the middle of the day, and then they'll get back to it until it's bedtime. They just keep going.
Right now we got about 50 sheep, about 30 cows. We brought in the animals to feed down all the fire fuel, and it's really good for the soil to put everything back into the soil instead of taking a chance of the fire coming in and burning it all up. That's basically what we're doing here. We just have a mix of sheep and cows, just feeding down all the fire hazard and putting all the nutrients back into the soil as they feed it and do their thing. As it feeds down a bit, we'll just keep moving them around so that it keeps it fed down, but not too much. Once that gets fed off, the new growth comes and starts to grow. So actually, by this time next year, we'll have a lot better feed here than now. They don't have to mow, and that's good for the environment because they don't have to use the mechanical equipment and burn the diesel and all that. And the sheep, they pretty much do a good job. It's all a mixed breed. It's nothing, any specific breed of anything. They get along great together. I haven't had any arguments. The biggest problem is the coyotes. The mule chases away the coyotes. He's big enough to where he can get after them. Yeah, that's all they do is just eat all day. It's kind of a fun thing to do, just come out here and be with the animals and experience nature. Just hang out and watch the animals and have a good time. I'm thinking, it's something for my kids and grandkids to do.